Hi guys, welcome to the brand new episode of our weekly podcast at the end of the day.
This is your host Anuz Thapa and she is Dipika Shrestha.
We are in an office of a lawyer. She is from Nepal. Her name is Chanda Thapa. And well, thank you so much for inviting us to your office.
My pleasure.
Chanda, how do you introduce yourself?
I'm a mother of 2 kids and I'm a wife and by profession I'm a lawyer.
And when did you come to America?
I came here in 1997.
And when did you start practicing law in America?
Started with Chatri & Associates once I passed the bar and then got admitted in early January of 2008.
You have started your own entrepreneurship.
How new is your new baby?
Right.
Is it long?
It's new. I started in March of this year.
Now in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about your entrepreneurship.
This is more than an entrepreneurial undertaking. I'm more interested in service providing, like a professional service provider. That's what I would call myself at this point. When I talk about entrepreneur skills, I would say the first thing to think about when you want to undertake that is to take the risk. For me also, I've worked with Chatri & Associates for 10 years and you get very accustomed and very to that environment and you're happy with that, you know, and it's the known part because you've worked there for 10 years. There's no need to, you know, prove yourself to anybody because you've proven to yourself, you know, through your work. But then when you want to take that risk, it's the fear of the unknown because you're taking that jump, right? So for me, like I actually had to think about it a lot to see whether I want to take that risk, is it worth it? So I think that's the first step is to overcome that fear.
Right.
And so how do you overcome that fear? For me, it's the confidence in your abilities. You know, once you have that experience, you build that confidence. You build your confidence in your abilities. And so for me, I think that was the key to taking that step of transitioning into opening my own firm and you know, moving forward. So and I must say I'm happy with it, with the decision.
And we forgot to ask you, what are the different services you provide in your new firm?
I focus a lot on immigration law, and because immigration is very vast, you know, there's a transactional side of it, which is more the business side, and then there is deportation, litigation side. So I do a lot of litigation. That means going to courts and doing, defending people in immigration courts. But I also do the transaction side as well. Some divorce cases, the civil litigation cases, I just had a criminal case. So, but I don't do very much of it. My focus more is immigration right now.
My another question, which you haven't answered yet, because we got lost in the conversation. What took you so long to start on your own?
Part of it is also like being resigned to the fact that I was happy. I was okay with what I was doing and, you know, it comes to a point, I guess, when you realize that there's no way to move forward or going up, you know, unless you go on your own. So I think when you come to that realization,
A point of saturation?
yes, it is sort of like a point of saturation, and then there's nothing more that I can do to contribute.
Walk us to the saturation point when you thought, okay, now I have to start on my own.
There wasn't a time like I woke up in the morning and I said, okay, this is it, you know. It builds up. When it builds up, that's the time you realize, okay, I need to do something about it. And then you start looking for avenues, how you can, you know, materialize your thoughts into action, right? So, so I started thinking when it was building up, and I started thinking, okay, how should I go about doing this? You know, talk to your family, especially, I mean, if you're married. The first thing is you talk to your spouse, right? Because it affects your family's life because you're giving up the known for the unknown.
True.
Right?
That's such a beautiful line. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah.
No, like I said,
That's such a beautiful line.
Giving up the known
for the unknown.
Yeah.
I talked to my husband and he was very supportive. If it wasn't for my husband who said, okay, I'm going to help you, then I could have taken that leap. And I also like talk to my clients themselves. Not that they already were there, and sometimes I would ask, like, what if I had a firm? Do you think people would come to me? And they were like, absolutely, you know. So And that also boosted your confidence.
I think we should share this with our audience that Chanda is the second Nepali attorney who is practicing law and who has started her own law firm. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. But I do think I was the first one to get barred and start practicing.
Oh,
but
wow.
I'm the second one to start my own.
Right.
Wow, that makes us more proud of you now.
Thank you.
Have you ever thought, like, if I was a man, it would have been different, it would have been easier?
Okay, I would say this though. The disadvantage, or even I guess it's my own preference, is when I had to travel and leave my kids.
Okay, got it.
That time it tugs your heart, sort of, I don't want to leave, that feeling. And I think maybe that's natural for women, but as a man, I don't know how they would feel, right? So for me, like, I really didn't want, once I had my kids, I didn't want to travel much. That's the only, and I saw in Chatri and Associates, like, most of the travels, other attorneys, the male attorneys would travel, and they had kids. But I guess, I don't know if it was because they didn't have a choice and they had to go, or I don't know how it affected them.
Right.
So I can't speak for them.
What is one career advice that you would give out?
So I would say that when people are thinking about scope, everybody else is also thinking about the same scope, right?
Right.
And so there's like more competition, and there's more fierce competition. So unless you excel in that area where you think there's scope, just because being a mediocre person is not going to cut it, right? So it's better if you're passionate about something, you're going to excel naturally, right? Because you're very interested in it and you spend more time because you have that passion in that area. So I think to excel, maybe whatever you're passionate about, you should follow that. So I would definitely recommend people to pursue where their interest lies.
Is it okay if we share your email address to the people who want to reach out to you for career advice?
Of course. my initials, at chandalaw.com.
So if you really want to get some advice about anything, career, or you want to have legal services from Chanda, reach out to her, and make sure you write at the end of the day in the subject matter so that she understands where these emails are coming from.
So that was such a sweet and very useful and very helpful conversation. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Chanda.
so much, Chanda, and all the best for your entrepreneurship.
Thank
Even
you.
though you call it, you don't call it an entrepreneurship.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
We hope you found the conversation very useful, and please keep subscribing, keep sharing the word about the podcast, and keep sending us your feedback. So we catch you next. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.